All right, Shalom. First off, we want to start by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to our apostle and elders, a great millstone. Honors and salutations to you brothers who's preaching this word in sincerity and faith. And Shalom to you sincere followers and believers thereof. All right, so you have a couple of brothers from the great millstone, San Francisco Bay Area camp, coming back with another in transit on the way to camp. All right, I'm the brother Yari Allah.
Brother Shamar.
Yeah, we just want to roll in the spirit. We're on the way to scoop up the brother Menadizak, so he may drop in as well. All right, on the lesson. We're just gonna roll in the spirit and touch on the current events. What's hot right now is what's going on with this whole scenario with the George Floyd. The latest of many scenarios when it comes to Jake, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and encounters with the law enforcement, ultimately with Esau. All right, and how all this is all scriptural, and with this whole scenario, it's pretty much giving more fuel to the fire of the tension that's already brewing in the world, let alone centering here in America and Babylon the Great, because people are already on edge with this whole pandemic. All right, with being locked down, restricted from getting out, doing what they were used to doing. All right, now then this come along. Okay, see, Jake was chilling. Jake was cool. A lot of Jakes get unemployment checks. They was loving Trump. They got the stimulus check, unemployment. They get the stimulus package, little $1,000 or $1,200. Jake was cool, and then this happened, man. Showing you Jakes, man, that you're still in hell, man, and it's only going to get worse for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Yet it's going to get worse for you Edomites as well, man. Because the world is seeing the devil who you truly are. Hey man, Jake's slow at learning, all right, but the Lord is going to cause it to click. Starting with Judah being a head tribe of the nation of Israel, okay, on down to Issachar, all right. A race war is definitely going to take place, and what we're seeing now is the prelude to all that. But I just want to read this short article, all right, because there's been a lot of riots, protests going on, in the place that happened, I believe, in Minneapolis, and it spread like wildfire throughout these different states. They had in Ohio, Atlanta, Houston, people wilding out. They had it out here in San Jose, LA. Last night in Oakland. They had it in LA, like the brother said. All right, you got Trump making threatening tweets, ordering the National Guards. All right, and really what this is going to spark is martial law, and everybody sees it clearly, man. It's going to be civil unrest 2.0, race war 2.0. All right, they're already referring to this as Ferguson 2.0. Which I believe that Ferguson whole deal with the guy Michael Brown, that occurred around the summertime. I forgot which year. And what it's hot all over again, man. It's summertime all over again, man. We understand that Esau, a lot of this is propaganda. All right, Esau has a lot of his agent provocateurs. All right, all you see on the news is this whole situation. So.
And it shows you that, like you said, it's propaganda, like something that they want to push, because that other Jake that was in Atlanta that got shot in broad daylight, he got killed by two, like regular, not even a police officer, two regular Edomites that shot him in daytime. Yeah. And he didn't even get as much publicity.
Yeah, no coverage. Yeah.
So like that shows you that this is like an agenda they're pushing, because when he got killed, it was like a little protest just out there in Atlanta, though. It wasn't worldwide, or nationwide, I should say. This one, when this happened, now you literally see everybody protesting in every state, damn near. Mm-hmm. So this shows you that it's an agenda behind it. And then in every state that they protest in, they're all doing the same thing, fucking up, just causing havoc.
Yep.
And like you said, it's all because of these Asian provocateurs. They take one person to start it, and they, the rest of Jake won't just follow.
Yeah, Esau has a thing called problem, reaction, solution. So he creates the problem, all right, and then there's a reaction. What's going on right now? A lot of protesting, a lot of looting, rioting. Okay, it's starting to form. Okay, and then what, man? Esau comes with the solution, which is what? The National Guard, martial law, curfew. All right, arrest. Okay, shipping you to concentration camps. All this is going to take place, man. All right, but it's going to be a big battle. This is real quick, and we already understand. Even though Esau is doing this is all the doing of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. This is the Lord's credit. All right, performing this on the left hand side, using this devil to press forward the Lord's prophecies. Okay, but this is 2 Corinthians 2:11. At least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
Yeah, we're not ignorant of his devices, man. We know that he does this. All right. Who you think controls the whole little Black Lives Matters thing?
Yeah, it's all funded.
It's been exposed.
Yeah, it's funded from the Amalekite, I believe, George Soros.
Yeah,
all these movements.
There was a chick that was actually on Twitter that was calling him out about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the company or whoever the company that actually finances it or whatever, they tried to respond back to her and say that it's not true, pretty much, because she called out George Soros. She said, we know that this is all funded by George Soros because the police chief out there in Minneapolis, he said a lot of people are coming that are not locals, that don't even live out there.
Yep.
So who are those people that's coming out there that's joining the protests? Mainly those are Asian provocateurs that they wearing the mask. They got, because we already got to wear masks. I was hearing somebody else on YouTube mention that it's a perfect setup for them to do that now, because since everybody is being forced to wear face masks now, it's easier to hide yourself.
Yep.
So you're not looking like a weirdo or something for you being the only one wearing a face mask.
Okay.
Now everybody got to do it. So it's easier to slip in the crowd, cause havoc, and then just disappear.
Yep.
And that's exactly what you see going on. The protests, like it start out peaceful, and then what? Somebody randomly, so-called, starts breaking windows or start a fire, and then everybody else they follow right after.
Mm-hmm.
It only take one person to start, then the rest of Jay's just gonna say fucking and do the same thing. Because Esau, he's not stupid. He knows what he's doing, and he knows that Jake are simple, and they'll follow whatever is happening. Like if the masses are doing it, then everybody else is gonna go along with it.
Yep.
Because you see the same thing play out in every single state that had protests so far. Out there, like you mentioned, out in Houston, they did the same thing almost, like smashing police cars and stuff, throwing stuff at them. Then out in Oakland, what they doing? They stealing cars, blowing stuff up, burning stuff down. And
right.
All of a sudden, because like I said, the other Jake that got killed by regular Edomites in broad daylight, you didn't see people burning down the whole city and everything, saying we need to fix racism, this and that. But now with this Jake that died, this had to be the so-called straw that breaks the camel back, showing you that it's really an agenda behind it. Like you said, it's to institute martial law.
Yep.
And then they're gonna turn around and do what? Blame and say it's you niggas' fault because y'all the ones who cause havoc, just to make everybody hate you and make it look justified when they do declare martial law.
That's right, man. Yeah, that's what this devil is all about. All right. But well, I'll bring this out real quick, and I wanted to touch on this short article, with what's going on with Trump pretty much putting these troops on the street. You got to remember, he already ordered up to 1 million ready reserves. Yep. All right, for the soils of America, man. They still on guard. Yep. So how not coincidental, but how pretty much reluctant for them, for lack of better terms. This is Proverbs 4:16. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall.
Yep, and that's exactly what the elites do, man. They sleep not unless they cause mischief, man. They the ones who made this stuff happen. Yep. All right. They planned it out. They don't they already had, like you said, they already had stuff ready. All right, because I had, like, a while back, I mentioned how they in the CARES Act, they were already buying equipment and stuff for rioting gear. before the situation even popped up. They already funded the police department with hella money to buy more riot gear,
more
drones and this and that, everything to get them more prepared for what. And then this happens out of nowhere.
Okay.
And then as well, like you mentioned with the National Guard, I mean, the Army of Reserves that's here. They came here supposedly posing to aid the whole COVID situation.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that's all BS. But what are they really here for? For like this situations like this. When something happened, they're already here in America, ready to go. Mm-hmm. They just need that call, and then boom, they right there.
Yep. Yeah, this is off of SputnikNews.com. You know, I'll leave the article in the description box, Lord, as well. I remember. All right. It says Pentagon increases alert status of some U.S. military units amid civil unrest. Some active duty U.S. military police officers have reportedly been ordered to prepare to deploy if local authorities request their assistance. The Pentagon has announced an increase in the alert status of some U.S. military units in order to potentially support Minnesota, which is currently struggling with civil unrest. The Pentagon also noted that some U.S. military units are now on 4-hour recall status, though the Minnesota governor apparently hasn't yet sent a request for the support of U.S. troops. You know, and if they're doing it in Minnesota, you best believe they're going to do it in the rest of the states that follow suit. Yeah. You know, all right. And they was also protesting, I believe, at Washington.
Yeah.
You know, they all over the place, man.
At the White House.
Yeah, they was at the White House. All right. So they're gonna have these people on call everywhere, man, ready to go. It says, at this time, there is no request by the governor of Minnesota for Title X forces to support the Minnesota National Guard or state law enforcement, the Pentagon said in a statement. One U.S. official said on condition of anonymity that some active duty military police officers have already been ordered by the military to prepare to deploy if local authorities ask for their help. Reuters notes the announcement comes as U.S. President Donald Trump said that the military could very quickly deploy troops to Minneapolis to respond to the ongoing protests that were sparked by the death of an African American man named George Floyd. Which we're not African, all right. We're not Mexican, all right. We're not Puerto Rican. We're not Haitian. We're not Jamaican. We're none of those bywords, man. We're Israelites, okay. Which this man George Floyd, I would believe him to be a Judite, it's a so-called Negro, okay, of the nation of Israel, all right. Something that this devil is not going to tell you. We have our military willing, ready, and able. We can have our troops on the ground very quickly if they want our military. They are using their National Guard right now, Trump said. Yeah, because they're already on the soil. Trump also berated the radical left, accusing them of staging the riots in question. These people are Antifa. There is a lot of radical left, bad people, and they've got to be taught that you cannot do this, he declared. Yeah, and the bad people are the agent provocateurs that they have sent out there. These undercovers, all right? And they're being called out and they're being exposed, okay? You know, by the actual protesters, man. You know, it says in a 30th of May tweet of his, the president further stated that crossing state lines to incite violence is a federal crime, warning that the federal government might step in and do what has to be done. It shows his tweet. Crossing state lines to incite violence is a federal crime. Liberal governors and mayors must get much tougher, or the federal government will step in and do what has to be done. And that includes using the ultimate power of our military and many arrests. He says, thank you. All right. Yeah. Problem, reaction, solution, man. It says earlier, Trump reportedly asked Secretary of Defense Mark Esper for rapid deployment options in case the situation in Minneapolis spirals out of control. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it, man. You know. All right. And all this sparked from what? From one Jake being suffocated by Edomite's knee, and it being put on camera, and it being sensationalized. Mm-hmm. Okay, because you know Jake's, man, these you 2/3, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you're so much of a zombie, man. You do everything this devil tells you to do. When he tells you to get mad, you get mad. When he tells you to calm down, you calm down. All right, you react off of this Edomite pretty much narrations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all right. But guess what, man? This is all according to the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. This is prophecy, man. You know, in Lord's will, this thing don't cool down. You know, this is you got a lot of Jakes. You know, they're talking about, man, this time feels different. All right, this is different, man. This is a whole this ain't a couple years ago. All right, you know, this ain't a couple months ago, man. This a whole new time, man, that we're in. You know, tension is very high.
Yep. And then this ain't like it's the first time this happened.
Straight up.
Because I was looking at the news yesterday. There's a Jake that was speaking about the issue. He was saying like the reason that Jakes are so violent right now, he's like this is like an accumulation of all the different situations that didn't happen the whole time we've been here.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, so what do you expect like people to do? They've been having it happen like repeatedly over and over again, and then you expect them to react the same way all the time. Jake, like you said, this is like different from those other times because Jake is like realizing that just protesting ain't gonna change shit, basically.
Yep.
That's why you're seeing them doing what they're doing. They're ready to get violent. You see, I forgot where Jake's fighting back police when they were trying to arrest certain Jake. You seeing video clips of that now, and that's why they're gonna start really bringing out the National Guard here because they actually starting to fight back the cops.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they was investing in the riot gear and all that because they knew that this was going to happen.
Yep. Yeah, I got this. This is 2nd Ezra 15 and 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands."
And that's what you see going on now. All right. The destruction is on the way here, but you're just going to see America just be slowly broken down more and more as that destruction is coming. And that civil unrest is part of it. You know, along with the economy crashing, martial law happening, the market of beasts happening, and everything else happening, the civil unrest is going to be playing a part of it.
Yep.
And that's what you see going on now. And that's going to be another excuse for them to institute martial law.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, once they institute martial law, you already don't have your rights anyway, as it is now. Yet you're really not going to have them then, because they're going to be able to do whatever the hell they want to at that point.
That's right.
Yeah, they call it order out of chaos.
Yep.
You can clearly see within the media that Esau has his agent provocateurs in these crowds inciting these riots.
Yep.
And knowing that, what does Jake do? They follow. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jake is always ready to loot and steal, you know.
Yep.
So Esau has his agent provocateurs, and it's order out of chaos. He's creating a problem so he can come in with the solution, which is what? Martial law. The time of Jacob's trouble.
That's right.
Yeah, I got a precept. It's 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, "Measure thou the times diligently in itself.
Mm-hmm.
And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made."
And that's what you see going on now. You know, we measuring the time by watching what's going on and filtering it through the scriptures, because the scriptures speak about this, man. You know, like the other brother was just reading, that civil unrest. You know, one people standing up against another, and you're seeing that happen in America. Sedition among men. You know, a great insurrection with the people, man. They're you know, mainly our people, because what's the scriptures about? Jacob and Esau, man. Mm-hmm. But right now they're trying to say that the enemy is the cops. Like, no, man, it's gonna get to a point to where they say, like, no, it's not just the police, it's you so-called white people, because that's what it always is. That it ain't just like it's a random cop all the time. It's always an Edomite, man.
Yeah, they try to say it's a system. Like you got these sellouts, you know, these Jakes, they end up, you know, the so-called black woman, and you know, these different sellout Jakes in positions of authority, you know, mayors or their figures, all right, they're celebrities, talking about, yeah, man, it's not all, you know, it's cop and please for Esau, you know, it's not all Edomites, you know, it's just it's a system problem, You know, we need to vote, because you know the elections are coming up. You know, we need to get the right people in office. No, man, it's bigger than that, man. You know, it's a Edomite problem.
It's an Edomite problem. Something that came to my mind is during the time of Hurricane Katrina.
Yep.
When there was no system, so to speak, it was pretty much martial law declared. Everybody fending for themselves. You had Jakes going into Edomite neighborhoods for help, you know, for refuge. And what did Esau do? Coming out with his guns, telling Jake to get out of here, nigga.
Yep.
They found bodies with holes just floating around in the waters of Jake. So that show you that Esau has hatred, you know.
That's right.
He's not for you. Esau is not your friend. You so-called blacks, you Latinos, and you so-called Native Americans. And it's not a thing, a color, a black and white thing. How he paints it to be. It's a spiritual hate.
Yeah.
Going back to Genesis, the 25th chapter, it goes back to Jacob and Esau.
Yeah.
It's a hate. It's a divine hate from the heavens.
Yeah.
And we were created by the Most High to be adversaries, to be enemies. You know, one nation is wicked and one nation is righteous. You know.
Like it says in the Apocrypha, one set against the other, good set against evil.
Yeah.
Back in 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world.
And that's what you see going on. You already seen across the world people protesting and getting violent over like food shortages or whatnot. Out there in France, they've been protesting like shit damn near a year.
Yeah, food shortages, wages.
Yep.
You know, unfair wages. You know, this whole lockdown shit. People wanted to get back outside. They wanted to get back to work. They wanted to get the hell out the house. They want the economy to open back up. Like the brother said, the food shortages. So these people were already in an uproar, you know. So this isn't just more fuel for the fire, man.
It says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning.
Yeah. We already knew these things was going to happen.
Yep.
We've been speaking about this for years. You know, from our apostles on down. And everybody was looking at us like we were crazy for speaking like this, saying that America was going to collapse, civil unrest was going to happen, Esau was going to take you people's rights away. And you're seeing all this stuff happen now. And now nobody has nothing to say at this point.
It says, for like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and the end is manifest.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's going on now. The end is being made manifest, man, and quick. You know, it's like this stuff escalated like since the year 2020 started. Things done escalated real fast. You know, getting real serious.
Yeah,
Showing the times that we're in.
Yeah, we're about to enter. We about to pretty much be at the halfway through the year. You know, next week is going to be the 6th month of a 12-month year, man. And it's been action packed, man. You know.
It says, even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs.
Yeah, we see all the signs, man. What are the signs that we're looking for? The prophecies. We see the prophecies happening, man. That's why through the spirit, the apostle, he named this year the year of prophecy, man. And we're seeing all the prophecies happening right now, man. They're playing out.
And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed.
Yeah, and this is how you're going to escape, man. You're not going to escape by protesting or doing anything else, man. The only way you're going to escape this destruction coming here and all the hell coming to America is through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. Because you can't deliver yourself. You got niggas over here trying to fight the police and everything like that's going to bring change. With Esau, he got the military. You can't fight back the military. He going to blow you niggas away.
And Trump made a statement on his Twitter. He said, look, when the looting starts, the shooting starts.
Good,
you know, this nigga be sarcastic.
Them raps.
Pretty much he throwing it out there like, look, we gonna send the
National Guard.
the troops out there to blow you niggas away.
Yeah.
You know? And you know how Esau is with his predictive programming. The first purge, remember we went to go see that at the theater years ago.
Yeah.
The first purge, they showed you that pretty much they gave Jake $5,000 to participate in the purge. And so in Jake's mind in the movie, they were just gonna chill, let the night be over and then get the money. What did Esau do? He sent in his agents dressed up as clans members, dressed up as different people with masks on to start it up, you know, to get it popping, so he can roll on roll. And eventually Jake was forced to fight, you know. So they show you in these movies not by accident. Esau gonna have his agents in these crowds, starting things up, starting trouble, so to speak, and to get Jake riled up and caught up in it. So what now? Now Jake is being drugged to a concentration camp. Now niggas is you know, ultimately it's all part of the prophecies. It says, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them from me from the beginning.
Yeah, and this is how we're going to be delivered from these sad perils to come, man. All right, we're not going to be out there participating in all this BS that Jake doing. We ain't out there protesting and all that. No, man, what are we doing? We bringing out the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. All right, and walking in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, because this is how we're going to be delivered from all these sad perils that are going to come to pass, man. Because when Jake out there, Jake not even considering the fact that Esau could just blow them away at any moment. You out there just looting, breaking everything, burning stuff down. You thinking that you all like, you know, big and bad, so to speak. When Esau, he could just send out the National Guard to literally blow you away, and he ain't gonna blink at it.
Which is coming to that point right now, because Esau could easily stop these niggas from looting. He wants them to he wants the
chaos.
The chaos and the violence to escalate, so he can be justified in bringing in his National Guards, because they're already in place. Remember, during the time of the COVID-19, they were actually mobilizing and getting in place. You know.
And when all this stuff been going down in dang near every state, you notice that it wasn't really no cops out there like that. They even mentioned it on the news. They was like, yeah, the police haven't been here, da da da. Well, any other time Jake get called for like domestic violence or you doing some other little minor baby crime, Esau there in like 10 minutes, 5 minutes flat. But where is that at now? So they, like you said, that's why they're not showing up to let Jake build up that bad look. So you keep on looting and destroying shit for days, and then he gonna just come out of nowhere and saying like, see, this is why we got to do this.
And who's the face? Who's the face that they putting out there? Is Jake. All the pictures, all the videos. Which you have Esau in disguise. They got footage of an actual cop that people have known in the area, dressed up, breaking windows. And spray painting graffiti, because they said when you see broken windows and graffiti, that sparks something in your mind. I forget. I was watching the video and it pretty much puts the spirit on people to want to riot. And they say you had Jakes coming in the city and you got piles of bricks just sitting on the side by the courthouse. Just easy acts on y'all. You got bricks to break windows. Esau setting it all up, you know. And you got Jakes storming the White House when it's known that you could throw a frisbee on the line of the White House and they have the troops out there. You can't just roll up on the White House like that. You got Jake all on the line inside the breaking the windows. They let them niggas do that shit because so they can be justified. See, we got to stop these looters. We got to stop these thugs, like Trump said. We got to get these thugs out of here. Which the thugs are you niggas.
Yeah. You got some more on that?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, I got this. This because really, you know, we're protesting another way, man. We're making our petition to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. You know, that's who we're seeking to see. Jakes, man, they don't get it. They keep trying to cry out to this damn devil for a change, for justice, for equality. You know, all the things that you're not going to get from the devil, man. All right, and really, that's just going to lead to your further destruction, man. You know, this is Isaiah 30:1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover what they covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, that walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt, which is Revelation 11:8. This is the modern day Egypt. You know, this is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. You know, and our people are still in that spirit, man. showing you that their hearts never left Egypt. With Esau being the modern day Pharaoh, all right, they're fully dependent on this devil for everything. All right, you know, this devil tells them to jump, they ask how high, you know. All right, so they still, after all this hate and betrayal that this devil has shown our people, they still have some form of hope in him, man. You know, so the Lord said, destruction unto you 2/3. Because, hey, man, really, this is the Lord using Esau, his sword, to really to prepare to slaughter you, man. It tells you in Ezekiel, you know, that sword being Esau is being furbished, man. All right. See, all this tension. They're letting all this shit build up so that they're gonna come in, man. At Revelation 12:12, Jeremiah 30:7, Daniel 12:12-1, man. All right. It says, verse 3, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Yep. Yeah, so this is gonna be this is gonna lead to you, Jake's further confusion and destruction, man. All right. You're not gonna know what Jake still don't know what the hell's going on to this very day, man. Why they still killing us, you know? Why they loving our culture, but they hate our people? This, that, and the third, man. It's because you're of the nation of Israel. You're the Israelites, man, and it's because they're the devil. They're your enemy.
You're your mortal enemy.
That's right.
It's an ancient hate.
Yeah, man.
And it's always gonna be like that way.
Mm-hmm.
Goes back to Cain. Cain was the first murderer on the planet Earth. Cain, killed his brother Abel.
Yep.
Fast forward in time, they came back as Jacob and Esau. Jacob said after his father Isaac had went on to the spiritual world, he said, now will I slay my brother Jacob. That hate that he had for his brother, for supplanting him for that birthright, and supplanting him for the blessing, you know, getting that blessing.
Yep.
Because ultimately the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai has promised us a kingdom. We are being promised a glory and power. And Esau was created to be our slave. And your top international banking families, they know this, but your average everyday Edomite, they just have a hatred. They don't know why. Oh, I hate this nigga. They don't know why. But it's an ancient hate, you know?
Yep.
So it's always going to be, there is no us getting along, us marching, us being friends. We are mortal enemies. And the only way we're going to be cool, so to speak, is when we have our foot over their necks, when they're put under us, you know?
That's right, man.
That's what the Heavenly Father created them to be. They're the shit on the bottom of the shoe, you know?
Good.
They're nobodies. And Jake got to stop having it in his mind to want to be equal to a fucking nobody. He's the shit on the shoe, you know?
That's right.
That's it.
Yeah, I'll close it out on this last scripture, you know, because ultimately, man, we're the Apostle Tahar, he did a lesson responding to a comment. We're in the time of Jacob's trouble. We've been in that time, man. Yeah, we're entering the bitter end of that, man, and the end of that is gonna lead up to millions of Israelites being brutally put to death, man. You know, this is Daniel 12:1, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince that standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble. You know, the time of Jacob's trouble, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time, and at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. You know, like the brother was reading in 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, you know, those being saved and delivered through their faith and their works. Ultimately, it's all about the elect, you know, the 1/3, those who were predestined to be delivered from all these set perils, you know, from all these events that are getting ready to hit the earth. All right, you know. But as far as you 2/3, you're gonna die. You're gonna die. Whether it's the famine, as it says in Jeremiah the 15th chapter. All right. Whether it's the animals, these beasts. Okay. You know, through these wars. All right. You know, you're gonna get some Edomites that ultimately you're not gonna make it. A lot of you Jason are gonna take the RFID microchip. You're gonna conform to this devil and take the chip, worship the beast, and you're gonna die, man. All right. Yet ultimately, man, this is all the signs of Esau's society going down, man. You know, and the kingdom being established. You know, Yahweh Shai returning, man. The chariot sightings are increasing, you know, and things are heating up. Esau is seeing all this, and he's bugging out. All right, and he's making moves out of fear, man. You know, and out of lack of time. All right. So yeah, with that, hopefully this lesson was edifying. You know, brothers, stay on your watch, man. The Lord is moving. You know, Yahweh Shai is returning. This devil is making moves and being exposed as well. You know, and hey, man, the Lord has his servants covered, man. You know, so with that, we're gonna go ahead and close out, giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Until the next one, we're gonna say Shalom to the elect. Shalom.